Oh, the words from the pages change your world. Your world. They can change your heart. They can change your mind. They can change your life. Can change your world.
Hey, Grand Rising to you billionaires, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. If you put in the book, we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of this book, The Black Billionaires Club. The Black Billionaires Club is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way, but if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com. That's right, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. It's available in soft copy, also audiobook. And it's also available in French, which would be audiobook and ebook as well. So pick up your copy so you can begin your study of wealthy people that look like you. Hit the like button, the share button if you care, like button, share button if you care. And we're going to get right into it today with our daily motivations for African-American success. This is a book written by Mr. Dennis P. Kimbro, Daily Motivations for African-American Success. And our title today is Dear Abby. Our title today is Dear Abby. And we always start with our quote of the day. All right, our quote today is from Sammy Davis Jr., who's an entrepreneur and a philanthropist. You guys remember him. And he says this, and I quote, "Don't ask for anyone's advice unless you are prepared to use it." Don't ask for anyone's advice unless you are prepared to use it. A great quote from the late great Sammy Davis Jr. Don't ask for anyone's advice unless you are prepared to use it. Well, let's just see what Mr. Dennis P. Kimbro has for us today, what our motivation for today. Let's get right into this thing. Daily motivation for African-American success. Let's read. You are never more vulnerable than at those moments when you need advice. But you are also never more in control. You are the one who decides whom to turn to, how to listen, and how seriously to act on the counsel of others. So if you're like me, you understand that there is safety in wise counsel. A man was on the practice tee when the golf club pro brought another golfer out for a lesson. The pro watched his student swing several times and started making suggestions for improvement. But each time, the pupil interrupted with his own version of what was wrong and how to correct it. After a few minutes of this interference, the pro began nodding his head in agreement. At the end of the lesson, the student paid the pro, congratulated him on his expertise as a teacher, and left in an obviously pleased frame of mind. The observer was so astonished by the performance that he asked, "Why did you go along with them?" "Son," the old pro said with a grin as he carefully pocketed his fee, "I learned a long time ago that it's a waste of time to sell answers to a man who wants to buy echoes. Some people aren't good at taking advice. They can't admit when they need help. They can't deal with conflicting opinions. They only hear what they want to hear or what confirms their own opinions. They listen to the wrong people or too many people. And even if they seek advice from those whose wisdom is widely sought, they misinterpret the advice or they don't follow through. Always remember these 4 rules concerning advice. Number 1, admit you need it. Number 2, consider the source. Number 3, go to the right source. And number 4, develop a board of advisors. Don't be afraid to use these keys. Let's go through those keys again to remember these 4 rules concerning advice. Admit you need it. Number 2, consider the source. Number 3, go to the right source. And number 4, develop a board of advisors. Now I'll say this, beautiful people, isn't it interesting how many people, as he said, some people aren't good at taking advice. Are you good at taking advice? They can't admit when they need help. Have you been in a position in your life where you just wouldn't admit that you need help? And quite honestly, guys, the truth is we all need help. They can't deal with conflicting opinions. If it doesn't agree with what they already believe, they're not trying to hear it. Right? They only hear what they want to hear or what confirms their own opinions. How many guys know some people like that? That's our motivation for today as it relates to advice. Everybody that's watching live with us here, go ahead and put in the console #advice. So here's our affirmation of the day. Here's what you and I want to allow to take root to our subconscious, our heart, and we can grow and develop this thing by repeating it over and over again. The power of life and death is in the tongue, and so we use our tongue to speak life into our life, and we can do that with these things called affirmations. So we'll do this 3 times, guys, for us to really get this in as it relates to this topic of advice. Repeat after me. I will be particular regarding what advice I accept. I will be particular regarding what advice I accept. Let's do it one more time for the people in the back, the people in the way back. Our affirmation of the day. This time, say it like you mean it. Say it with some resolve, some echo in your voice. Repeat after me. I will be particular regarding whose advice I accept. Well, I wonder, billionaires, have you been in a position where you've accepted the wrong people's advice? You didn't consider the source. You didn't go to the right source. You got the wrong advice from the wrong people at the wrong time. It led you to some places that you didn't want to be. I got another great question to discuss. Are you a person of wisdom where people can actually come to you for good advice? If so, in what area? Because I believe some people are trying to give advice in places they have no expertise. So not only get good advice, but be a person that can give good advice as well. And then that'll make our whole community, our whole world a lot better. And we can start leading people to a great place versus down the road of despair. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in the book, we absolutely will find it. And we found this gem called Daily Motivations for African American Success, a book written by our brother, Mr. Dennis P. Kimbro. You can find that and pick that up at any point in time. This will be used for our daily motivation. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.